Welcome back, guys, to the F1 Manager series here on Fog Racing. We are with Haas. We are ending this series very soon. Only two more rounds of this season to go. And of course, we're in Qatar 2023. It was really bad for tyre wear. So was 2024. Will this year be any different? We've got an Almighty. We have a big problem because our car is actually falling to pieces. I mean, I don't know what it is with our two teammates, but why have they been hitting each other? I mean, we were looking pretty good in Las Vegas, and these numpties just absolutely poleaxed each other, damaged the car, which is going to set us back for the remainder of this season. Now, it is only two races, and realistically, well, I say realistically, there is no catch in RB. There's nothing. I mean, I think we could win two races in a row. 1-2, 2-1-2 finishes in a row, and we still couldn't finish sixth in the standings, but it's just unacceptable, to say the least. But what's going on at this team, it really is. So we'll dive in to the sprint here and see how that goes. And here we are for the beginning of the sprint. What can be done? Well, the two Haas cars were both starting the pit lane. I changed a lot of parts on the car to try and make us a wee bit competitive. But I mean, in a sprint, when you've got like the 6th, 7th fastest car, like how are we going to start at the back and make our way through? Now I put both of us on the hard tyre because I thought hopefully everyone else will risk it and their tyres will go off and maybe towards the end we can actually do something. But I'm the king of wishful thinking. Hamilton on the soft, I was like, he's never going to last, and he's got a mechanical fault. I just don't see how Lewis Hamilton seriously like makes it to the end of this Grand Prix. But yeah, is what it is, and we semi, but Oscar Piastri already this season on its way to a world championship. He's already won it. Doesn't really matter what happens in this, but we overtake Albon and it's like we're just nowhere near 8th spot. And then it's at this point you're sitting here thinking this is just going to be like the most depressing like 15 laps ever. And then Albon maintains himself within DRS and overtakes us, and it really is kind of tragic that it's like, unless you've got a massive pace advantage, if you're still in the DRS, or you know the guy behind you still in the DRS, you're just never going to pull away. And that's what I don't really like about the manager game. I don't, you know, like the DRS is too overpowered, but in a way it kind of has to be overpowered because the overtaking's limited. Like they're not going to do like moves you'd see in the F1 game or in real life. Like it is very, you know, orchestrated, you know what I mean? And I think due to that, they need to overpower the DRS, which is unfortunate. But as you can see, we've got 10 laps to go here. But sorry to burst anyone's bubble, but this doesn't really go anywhere. As we finish 17th and 18th here, a lot better tyre wear than most people, but doesn't exactly get the points, does it? So we'll move into the race. Disappointing for Haas. There is no two ways about it. Ferrari against McLaren at the front with Red Bull sprinkled in. As for us, we qualified 13th, and then Norris took another penalty, so he's down at the back. So what I thought was, right, we'll split the strategy, we'll put Lando Norris on the softs, and we'll see where this can end him up. The Ferrari's battling with McLaren's ahead, but again, it's like we've more of a chance of scoring points in this race, but our car's literally falling apart. We just don't have the parts, and Haas just don't have the money to sort it out, as Zhou Guanyu just like cuts half the track there to stay ahead, which was pretty mental. But yeah, lap 1 chaos here. What can we do? Pourchaire down to 14th. Norris has only made his way up to 17th, but now our two drivers are within each other here, and the fact that Norris is on the soft, maybe we push him. But look, we're running like 14 kilos, right? 14 kilos under in terms of fuel, and we can't do anything about it. And I think the correct way of doing this is what I did in this race is basically, right, who's in the more favourable position late on. And then whoever wasn't, I just stuck them on high fuel to push. So they'd run out of fuel, bring out a late safety car and see if that would do anything with the other driver. But as you'll soon find out, it didn't do an awful lot. Because as we approach the end of the race, I mean, we're not a million miles off points, but we're not close either with Norris. And at this point, Norris is going to save enough fuel, but Pourchaire is literally, you know, hung out to dry. Behrman and Hamilton both out. Brings out the safety car. And you're thinking, well, I mean, if the race got restarted, then maybe with Lando Norris, you could have done something. Hell, there was a red flag or something to that degree. Maybe you could have done something. But reality is, you just got to keep Norris out. But then, because where he parked it, it brings out the red flag. and we've got a chance at some points. Slap on some supers and hope for the best. So of course, here we go, starting P13, we've got a lot fresher softs than cars around us. We're up to 11th here. I mean, look at that, Ocon's on 54% hards, and we are pushing. We've got fuel, we've got engine modes to boot. But not the reality is here, folks. We got close, and this is as close as we got, and see as the rest of the lap goes on, we just lose it. I mean, that bit of driving there was bogging. We lost about 4 attempts there, and then never looked back. But despite pushing, despite on the freshest possible softs and a lot of fuel to burn, nothing happened, and we ended up finishing 11th. Like, is that no crazy that we couldn't make it count? I think it is. Piastri ends up winning the Grand Prix from George Russell, Leclerc, Alonso, Bottas, Sargent, Sainz, Ocon, Drugovich and Verstappen. We finished in 11th. I mean, we pulled a bit of a gap on show, but didn't exactly mean anything in the end. Up next though, Abu Dhabi. Till then though, peace.